Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. My name is Al. I am the designer of Fast Drive Football. Thanks for checking out this video. I'm going to go ahead and do a full game run through. I'm going to match up two teams from our 2017 season, Pittsburgh and New England. What you see on the table on my overhead camera is a copy of the game, dice that you'll need to provide if you download the game, a couple of the teams that you can download, print out, and cut with a paper cutter, and the score sheet, sort of a special score sheet that enables different aspects of the game to be easily tracked, such as field position and timing. I've got my iPad over here to make it easier to keep track of the score as I'm playing through the game. And yeah, if you have any questions either after this video or sometime down the road, feel free to send me an email. My email address is in the game materials that you can download from the website. And we also have a very active Facebook community, so you can check us out. The link to that Facebook community is on the website as well. So what's unique about Fast Drive Football that sets it apart from other games? It's really the fact that it's driven by narrative and qualities. So like any other sports simulation game, it's based in math and probabilities. Pretty much can't get around that. There's a lot of data available out there, and it makes it pretty easy to build a simulation engine depending on what you're trying to achieve, whether it's a score generator or a play-by-play game. This game fits a little bit more towards the score generator spectrum of things. You can get through a game in about 15 or 20 minutes, and like I said, it's built on narrative, it's built on qualities. So Keith Avalone at play.com is a very good friend of mine, and he let me borrow the concept of qualities that you'll find in his History Maker line of games. Basically using terms, words that you're familiar with as a sports fan to obfuscate the math behind it and make it feel more like you're having a conversation rather than doing math or just rolling on percentile ranges. So that's what I wanted to create with this game, and reaction so far has been pretty good. It's been out for 3 months. It was released in August of 2021. Since that time, I have created every pro season from 1950 to 2020, and I'll, of course, keep creating seasons as they complete. We've also got some spring pro football seasons out there to download as well, like USFL and WFL and XFL and AAF, the Association of American Football. So lots of fun stuff to download and try. The game is totally free. It's an arrangement that Keith and I came up with. Really, it's a way for people to, take a shot at a different kind of sports game. One that, again, is built on narrative and not on numbers. Although the numbers are there, they're just hidden. Another cool thing that I really appreciate about this game, there's no in-game math. There's no calculations that you have to do during the game. So no modifiers that come up. So for me, that was important. I wanted something that was fun, accurate, and easy and fast to play. So that's pretty much it. It is a solitaire game. I do have friends and family. When we get together, we'll play it head to head, but it's not like there's a lot of coaching you can do and to thwart the other team or guess their offense and play a certain defense. It's not like that. It really is meant to be played solitaire and just a fun way to spend 15 or 20 minutes pitting two teams against each other and really having a good, feel though for what happened to drive the outcome of the game. So that's the game at a high level. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. I do have extensive instructions and an FAQ, and we're always answering questions on Facebook. So I'm not going to try to bog down this video with a lot of explanations. I'll introduce a couple concepts, but for the most part, I'm going to run through the gameplay and hope that this is a good tool for those of you learning the game to see how the designer's playing it as you're learning the ropes. So how we're going to start is basically a coin toss. We're going to see who gets the ball to start the game. And I just got my decider die here. This is a die from play.com, one of their History Maker games. This one's probably from History Maker Baseball. And I'm just going to go ahead and use it as a coin and say if it comes up dot, New England is going to receive the opening kickoff. It comes up blank, so the first quarter is going to start with Pittsburgh receiving the kickoff. Now, each one of these lines on the score sheet represents one drive of the game, and each drive of the game is going to be activated primarily by these drive results charts. I should mention that this game book you'll see is coil bound. You don't need to do this to enjoy the game. This is something that I did. I just sent it to my local FedEx office, and they printed and coil bound it for about, I want to say about $12, maybe less, maybe closer to $8. I can't remember. It's not a lot of money, and it's kind of cool. It looks really good on your table when you do it this way. But you can absolutely either just keep the materials on your laptop or on your iPad and just play it that way. You don't even have to print anything out. So yeah, so many different ways to play it. I still like rolling dice and filling out score sheets. There are helpers already available on our website where you can have a website, roll the dice for you. There are additional helpers that will tell you who scored, who's the quarterback in for the play, or who's the field goal kicker. You'll notice that the team cards do not have player names on them. So for the materials that I provide, you're pretty much getting team level information, team level qualities that drive the narrative. And it's up to you if you want to fill in the blanks for specific players. But like I said, the community's been outstanding, and they've already been creating a bunch of content that'll supplement your game in that way. All right, so let's get going. Let's see what happens on the kickoff. The result is a 63. We're always going to read, when we're rolling 2 dice, we are going to read black die first, white die second. And the kickoff table is actually on the second page. And by looking in the range of where 63 falls in, we see that the receiving team takes over with average field position. In the subsequent kickoffs, you'll see me not even refer to that chart, because if the black die is anything but a 1, I know that the receiving team is going to take over in average field position. If you're wondering what average field position means, let me run through the different field position levels. There's poor field position. Imagine a team starting from their goal line up to the 20-yard line. Then there's average field position, whether it's a touchback, modern or pre-modern, 20-yard line, 25-yard line, all the way up to the 40. So anything between the 20 and the 40, average field position by statistical standards. And then anything past the offense's own 40-yard line, that's considered great field position in this game, meaning that the chances of a team scoring points when starting with great field position past their 40 is greatly increased. And the game book takes that into account. So we're going to go ahead and roll all 4 dice for Pittsburgh first drive. And we're going to read the number ascending order. So 3, 4, 6 is how you read this die roll. So 3, 4, 6 is asking, do they have great field position? Pittsburgh does not. They are in average field position. So since the answer was no for this first column, you simply move to the second column. So now it's saying, is the offense erratic? They are not. Or is the defense disciplined? Well, they are not. So you go to the third column, since both answers were no, and you get a field goal attempt. So we're going to go ahead and write down field goal attempt for Pittsburgh. But before we resolve that attempt, let's look at the timing. So this drive took some amount of time off the clock. The red die is the timing die, and you've got a timing die key here on the score sheet, and it says if the red die is a 4, you're going to take 2 ticks off the clock. So we just take 2 ticks off the game clock and mark it down for the drive as well. Now, what you're doing here is you're really decrementing the clock by 1 minute and 15 seconds each time you do one of these ticks. So this drive took 2.5 minutes off the clock. Pittsburgh drove down the field, wasn't able to get a touchdown, but did get into field goal range. You look at their team card, their field goal range is 11 to 63. Again, we're going to read the dice black-white. It's a 62, just squeezed it inside the upright. So the field goal is good, and Pittsburgh takes a 3-0 lead. So there you go. So Pittsburgh's on the board, 3-0. Just starting the first quarter. So I'm going to start moving a little bit faster now. The kickoff gives New England the ball in average field position. They're going to go ahead and roll for their drive. It is a 2-2-4. First, we'll note the timing die here is going to take 2 ticks off the clock. I usually like to do that first because sometimes I'll get in the habit of picking up the dice before I mark down the time. And I know other folks have done that as well on some videos that I've watched. So I usually try to mark down the time first. In some cases, the game book will actually modify the drive time, so you might have to use your eraser. That's why I recommend using pencil or maybe an iPad application like I know Steve Tower likes to use on after further review. Actually, no, that's wrong. Steve Tower now uses a dry erase, which is another great idea. Turn the score sheet into a laminated score sheet and get yourself a dry erase marker. Works great. So New England's next drive, 2-2-4. Reliable offense. New England does not have a reliable offense. And by the way, you'll get to know what these words mean. A reliable offense, you're going to say in your head, uh-oh, it's going to be a possible interception. New England does not have the reliable quality, so you're going to move to the next column on 2-2-4. And it's asking, is the defense aggressive, which means they force a lot of interceptions. And Pittsburgh is not. So, again, they escaped the interception twice. And it's just going to end up in a punt. So New England is going to have to punt. It's just a regular punt. That's 2 dice. We're going to roll on the regular punt table. And I'm saying regular punt because there's also punts where the defense is backed up, say, behind their 20-yard line, or they have an opportunity for a coffin corner punt to pin the opponent deep. Regular punt 53. The receiving takes over with average field position. So Pittsburgh gets it. With 10 minutes on the clock for their second drive of the first quarter, 3-3-5. Do they have great field position? They do not. The drive stalls just short of field goal range, so it's going to be a coffin corner punt attempt for Pittsburgh, and we're taking 3 ticks off the clock for that one. So they used up some clock, but they were unable to get into scoring range, so we're going to go ahead and punt. Coffin corner this time, so we're using this bottom table here. Let me get that in the camera. So 55, receiving team takes over with average field position. So New England back with the ball, down 3-0, first quarter, average field position, 2-6-6. Teams are feeling each other out, not a lot of action yet. Is the defense passive? No. Is the offense clumsy? Do they fumble a lot? No. Is the defense active? Do they force a lot of fumbles? No, they do not. So again, New England avoids a fumble, but is forced to punt. Their second punt of the first quarter. Just a regular punt. The roll is a 12. This will be something different. On a regular punt, okay, so here's what it says. Roll 1d6. On an odd result, the returner is in the open. And in the open is basically, a potential exciting return maybe for a touchdown. Otherwise, average field position. So we're going to roll 1 die. We'll use the red one. If it's odd, Pittsburgh's punt returner's in the open. It's even. So Pittsburgh gets average field position. And I realized that on that last roll, you may have been watching, so good lesson. I didn't pay attention to the timing die. It was a 2-6-6. So I'm going to go with the odds and hope that the red die was a 6. I'll probably review this video after I create it, and if it wasn't, I'll go ahead and make that note. Otherwise, that is a 4-tick drive, 1, 2, 3, 4, and Pittsburgh's going to take over with average field position with 1 minute and 15 left in the first quarter. So Pittsburgh now with the ball. It's a 2-tick drive, 1, 2. This is going to roll over into the second quarter now. 1, 2, 2. Is the defense home? New England is indeed the home team, so the answer is yes. So crowd noise may have affected that last play, punt BU. So defense. This game's all about defense right now. So punt backed up. So Pittsburgh finds their back against their goal line. They're going to have to punt. 34. Receiving team takes over with average field position. So Pittsburgh got a good roll there. Nothing exciting happening on punts right now. So New England, average field position. We are now in the second quarter. Flip back to the main chart and roll. 2 ticks off the clock. 2, 4, 4. Poor field position? Nope. Inept defense? No. So we're going to have a field goal attempt. So New England has a chance to tie the game with a field goal. Their range is 11 to 63. They get a 41. The field goal is good. And we are now tied at 3. All right, so New England to kick off. It's a 31. That gives Pittsburgh average field position. They roll for their drive. After I pick up the die, they roll. It's a 4-4-5 with 3 ticks off the clock. And a 4-4-5. Is the offense erratic? They are not. Is the defense stiff or disciplined? New England is neither stiff nor disciplined, so it's a field goal attempt for Pittsburgh. Attempting to take the lead back with a range of 11 to 63, and they miss it. It's a 65. So missed field goal, missed opportunity. The score remains tied. When a team misses a field goal, the opponent takes over with average field position. So we've got about 7 minutes left in the first half. And here comes New England. Ooh, with a long drive. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's going to be only about 2.5 minutes left in the first half after the resolution of this drive. 1, 4, 6. Staunch defense. No, neither team has a staunch defense. The ball carrier stiff arms the linebacker. Sprints to the end zone. Touchdown. So it's a touchdown run for New England to give them the lead. Now, let's talk about this special quality called efficient really quick. Efficient offenses are those offenses that are really better at manipulating the clock towards the end of each half. And they can either save a tick or add a tick depending on what's strategically better for them. It's a way for, when I was rating the seasons, it's a way for me to control those teams that statistically underperformed or overperformed that year. And it's a really cool mechanic and works really well in testing and watching people's results that they've been playing for the last 3 months. So New England is semi-efficient. But the decider die, since we haven't used it yet, we're going to go ahead and use it now and say, yep, they're efficient. So New England, instead of leaving Pittsburgh 2.5 minutes on the clock, they're going to invoke their efficient quality and take another tick to leave Pittsburgh with only 1 minute and 15 seconds for their next drive, decreasing the likelihood that they'll be able to score to end the half, which is great for New England since they get the ball to start the second half. So it's a touchdown for New England. Let's see if they make their extra point. They do. So New England now posting a 10-3 lead. They're going to go ahead and kick off. There is the option for the squib kick. They're just going to kick off normally. 62 gives Pittsburgh average field position. They have 1 tick left on the clock, and they are efficient, so they might be able to get something going here. We'll see. But the timing die is a 6. So right away, no need to even resolve what happens here unless you want to depress yourself, because the 2-4-6 would have been a touchdown. So Pittsburgh would have scored a touchdown on this drive, but they ran out of time because 6 takes 4 ticks off the clock. There's only 1 left. Even with their efficient rating, not enough. So the half ends with Pittsburgh having the ball, but it's an end of half. They weren't able to drive down the field in time, and so the first half ends New England 10, Pittsburgh 3. So we go to the third quarter. And we are going to have New England receiving the opening kickoff of the second half. They're going to have average field position. Field position really not playing much of a role in this game yet. You'll notice that on the score sheet, it's just average right down the line. And honestly, that's typically not normal, but I'm not going to force anything in these videos, just going to play it as it comes. So let's see. So New England's first drive of the second half. Let's go ahead and make the clock right to show that that's where the half ended. All right, first drive of the second half for New England, 1-3-5. And I know that's good for Pittsburgh, but let's take off the 1 tick off the clock. 1-3-5, the rusher breaks through the line, but a clean hit knocks the ball loose, fumble. So it's a turnover for New England. Let's see if anything interesting can happen here. Let's get the narrative of the fumble. I rolled a 6. That's good. Now we're going to roll another die. On a roll of 6, the fumble is returned for a touchdown. Otherwise, great field position. So here we go. It could be a what's the term? It's not a pick 6. It could, what's it called when a fumble's returned for a 6? I know there's a term for it. And they get it. It's a 6. So Pittsburgh knocks the ball loose, returns it for a touchdown. So we'll go ahead and say, return for touchdown. And let's roll for the extra point. 45 means it's good, plus the extra point. And we've got a 10-10 game. So costly mistake for New England at New England. But they will get the ball here on the kickoff. They're going to get it with average field position. So without even setting foot on the field, Pittsburgh has tied the game without their offense setting foot on the field. Next drive for New England, it's 2 ticks off the clock. 2, 3, 4. Dull or undisciplined offense. Nope, that doesn't apply to New England. Staunch defense, unfortunately not. Brady comes right back and throws a touchdown pass. So undeterred, New England goes right back up. Pittsburgh didn't have the staunch defense, or they could have stopped that. And the extra point is good. So just like that, New England is back on top 17-10. And we've got we've still got over 10 minutes left in the third quarter. Pittsburgh will take over its first drive in average field position here in the second half. Pretty good game. 3-3-5, 2 ticks off the clock. 3-3-5. Great field position? Nope. The drive stalls just short of field goal range. Coffin corner punt. Let's see if they can get a better result out of this punt. 43. Yes, decision to play the field position game works out, pinning the opponent deep. New England has poor field position. So for the first time today, someone's starting with poor field position. And here comes New England. They roll a 555. So first of all, let's take the 3 ticks off the clock, taking us down to 5 minutes. But when you roll trips, we are going to the unusual results table. So go to the back of the book, and it's telling us because the drive started in poor field position, we're going to be rolling on table A, 2 dice. 66. All right, so this is fun. We're now going to table C. This is where some of the more crazier results can happen, and appropriate for the video that we're making that this happens. So here we go, rolling on table C. It's a 16. Field goal is missed, but defensive penalty gives the offense another chance. All right, so interesting. So I don't know who New England's field goal kicker was in 2017. They missed the kick, but Pittsburgh, I don't know, jumped offside something, and they move a little bit closer, and they are going to get another attempt. Well, that stinks. I was hoping for some crazy turnover or something. So let's see. They're going to try another field goal attempt. 66. He misses it. His field goal range, 11-63. So he misses 2 field goals in a row. That's awesome. And no penalty on Pittsburgh this time. So it's just a turnover. Pittsburgh gets it in average field position. It's funny. I just looked down at my screen, so I wanted to make sure the recording was actually going. So this is actually turning into a good game, and I'd hate to lose it. Okay, so Pittsburgh has the ball, average field position, 5 minutes left in the third quarter. They roll a 1-2-2, 2 ticks off the clock. Is the defense? Yes, it's another home defense check again. That's the second time that's come up, and it's going to end up in another punt backed up. If you read across that row for that result, it could have ended up with a field goal attempt. If the answers were no across the line, but the home defense, home field advantage comes into play again. And does that one read crowd noise? Yeah, it's crowd noise again. So the fans in New England are loud. Playoff atmosphere. So punt backed up. 55. Long punt, but negated by a nice return. New England now is going to start with great field position. So that's bad for Pittsburgh. So there's how you can see how the field position worked out. They were backed up. New England ended up with good field position out of this. So even though they're coming off those missed field goals, they're looking okay again. So New England with great field position. 2.5 minutes left in the half. 1, 2, 3. That will end the third quarter. And by the way, when I said 2.5 minutes left in the half, I meant quarter, not half. So 1, 2, 3, great field position. The first column says, do they have poor field position? No, they do not. The second column says, do they have great field position? Yep, they do. Screen catch or screen pass, catches defense in a blitz, touchdown pass. Oh, Brady made the right read. Extra point is good. And somewhere Steve Tower is smiling because New England has a 24-10 lead heading into the fourth quarter. See what Pittsburgh can do. They're going to have average field position to start the fourth quarter. They roll a 2-2-5, 3 ticks off the clock. Is the offense dull? They are not. Is the defense staunch? They are not. Touchdown run with a parenthetical letter, capital letter P after it. And what that means is if the offense has the same symbol, which they do if you look on the card right here, you'll see that P in square brackets. It's a way for the game to change the results from running touchdowns to passing touchdowns and vice versa based on the tendencies of the teams that year. So this is actually going to be a touchdown pass for Pittsburgh, and extra point is good. All right, so Pittsburgh remains in it. It's now 17-24. And New England will get the ball with a little bit over 10 minutes to go in average field position in the game. Their next drive is a 2-2-5 with 2 ticks off the clock. Is the offense dull? No. Is the defense staunch? No. It's a touchdown run converted to a pass because of the P in square brackets. So Brady now on fire, another touchdown pass relatively quickly. That drive only took 2.5 minutes off the clock. And the extra point is good. Man, Pittsburgh just cannot close the gap. Anytime they get close, the gap gets widened. So now 31-17, New England with about 8 minutes to go in the game. The kickoff is an 11, which is not good for Pittsburgh. Because what 11 reads is the returner muffs the catch and is caught before he can get upfield. Poor field position. So the returner trying to make something happen didn't make anything happen. Poor field position for Pittsburgh. It's not looking good. Let's see what they can do. 3-5-5, 2 ticks off the clock. I mean, that's good because Pittsburgh would hope to conserve some time. So let's see if that gives a good result. 3-5-5. Is the offense prolific? They are not. That would have been a touchdown. But they don't have the prolific quality. Is the defense inept? They are not. Had the defense been inept, that would have also been a touchdown. So this just ends up in being a punt for Pittsburgh. And because there's still over 5 minutes in the game, per the rules, there is an option to go for it on fourth down. We limit that to 5 minutes to go in each half. The reason being, from a simulation standpoint, if you did that every time, or if you gave the gamer the opportunity to do that each time, it would skew the results in such a way that it wouldn't, the results wouldn't be realistic anymore. However, if you download it, it's your game. If you feel that Pittsburgh should be going for it on fourth down in this situation, which I do, go for it. I'm going to stay true to the rules, true to the simulation, and if you read in the instructions this exact scenario, what it says is the narrative, you can imagine in your mind that they do go for it and they just didn't succeed. So you can either just go ahead and turn the ball over and give the opponent the ball in average field position, or you can punt it away. But either way, there's no chance for a score. That said, I'm going to go ahead and do the punt. Let me go ahead and run the punt. Whoops, black and white. 12. Oh no. So we have an opportunity now for the returner to get in the open and possibly take this to the house. On an odd result, the returner is in the open. They are in the open, so we're going to roll on the in the open chart. A 5 or 6, and it's a touchdown. it's a 3, they're going to have great field position. So New England with great field position, not much time left in the game. Roll the dice, and they are actually going to take 1, 2, 3, 4 ticks off the clock. They can't take the 5th and run out the clock for the game because they didn't get the bullet on their efficient quality. So just 4 off the clock, but it really doesn't matter. It's academic at this point. 3, 4, 6, great field position. Yes, touchdown pass, and that's the 3rd touchdown for Brady in the second half. Actually, it's the 4th touchdown pass for Brady in the half. Look at that. They had 4 drives in the second half, and this is another cool thing about this game. It really allows you to see the drive progression. So the third quarter for New England started with a fumble. So the second half actually started with a fumble, allowed Pittsburgh to tie the game back up. But then if you read down New England's next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 possessions, we've got touchdown pass, field goal, was no good. Okay, so touchdown pass, then we had those 2 missed field goals in the same drive. That was cool. And then touchdown pass, touchdown pass, touchdown pass, 38-17. 1 tick left on the clock. They will go ahead and do a squib kick. 16. Now, interestingly enough, because they chose squib kick, the 16 is changed to great field position. So Pittsburgh does have great field position to change the scoring line maybe for Vegas. Let's see what happens. It's a 1-2-2, and it's the home defense check for a 3rd time. It's going to be 4th down. It would be a punt, but now we can use the 4th down, go for it option. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry. So it was a 1 on the timing die. So good thing I caught that. But they can still go for it. Oh, wait. Given that that's timeout, so rule check. In this case, since they've already exhausted all the time on the clock, the only thing left for them to do is a desperation play. So I'll take you back to that. It's right here at the bottom of the main chart. And they are in great field position. So we're going to roll 3 dice. And if the sum of the 3 dice is 8, then the Hail Mary is caught in the end zone. But it's, like I said, doesn't matter. It's a 6. It's incomplete. And that's end of game. And we have a final score of 17-38 in favor of New England. So there you go. So that is how Fast Drive football plays. That's how it works. Hopefully that video playthrough was helpful. Again, if not, like I said in the beginning of the video, just go ahead and send me an email, post on Facebook, post over on Delphi. I check there a couple times a week too, over in Tabletop Sports. And I hope you enjoy it if you download it. And if you do, the game is free, but it's also donationware. We have a number of charities on the website that we ask you to donate to. If you find the game enjoyable, if you like it, and you want to show your appreciation, make it a donation to charity. If you do that, love to hear about it. Love to know who you're giving money to. It always makes me feel good to know that what we're doing here is helping others. So that's a really cool thing. And that's it for now. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you online.